fire, the sword of knowledge, the sword of ideas. Because you see, ideas rule the world. Knowledge, knowing the arrangement around things is knowledge. Knowing how things work. Because things have gone ahead of you. Like I was telling that my friend, go and do this, go and do that, go and do that before you chase the money. He said, no, don't worry, they have promised me. I said, hey, promise, we have stopped working there. I said, if you don't do it, you have a problem in your business. He said, oh, you are Usofo, don't talk evil. Your mouth will bring evil, don't say it. I said, this is business. There are arrangements to everything. You need to have that knowledge. The know-how. How does it work? You need it. That is your sword. If you don't know how it works, how will you pull it to break that yoke? Draw your sword, draw your sword. You don't have any knowledge. What are you going to draw? Draw your sword. You don't have any idea. What are you going to come up with? The next sword we need is the sword of learning. The sword of learning. The sword of learning. There are people who don't learn. The sword of learning. You see, the world is changing, transforming. Technology is the fastest growing thing happening to the world today. The thing you used in 2024, there is a new version in 2025 already. Learning. The sword of learning. What have you learned? I asked the students a question. I told them I want to test their knowledge. Jesus is not God. True or false? Come and see trouble. I want them, and I told them, any answer you give me, you will explain. And he said, okay, Jesus is not God. True. Let me see by hands. Some people do like this and do like that, do like this, because they were not sure. And then I said, be bold. Don't worry. Nobody will do anything to you. There is no king here. Jesus is not God. Am I right? Some said I'm right. Others said I'm not right. And then I said, the rest, where do you stand? They said, we don't know. And I said to them, the amount of knowledge you have is what helps you to know where to stand. And then I explained it to them. And then it was only one person who said Jesus is not God at the end of the day. But the rest didn't have an idea whether Jesus is God or not. And then those who said Jesus is God, I believed that their explanation will not, though I didn't ask them to explain, because I know when they start, I'll have a lot of questions to ask them, and maybe they won't be able to answer. So I didn't want to disturb them, I just wanted to help them. And then I explained a bit of it, touching various aspects of it. And then they were like, wow. I said, if you don't have the knowledge, and all these things, we learn them. Learning is very important. That's one of the swords you can apply. One of the swords you can also have is connection. You must be connected to somebody. Something that makes that thing that will break your yoke possible. You must be connected. Don't lie to yourself. Without it, your yoke will be dead. Connection is one sword that I tell you, it makes work easy. It's like a machine. Connection is a machine. You know the definition of a machine? An object or instrument that makes work easy, right? Yeah, the science students. Makes work easy. When you have connections, it's not as easy because sometimes they can bring you the machine if you don't know how to operate. Your work will still not be easy. It's like a machine. It makes work easy. Do you know why? Because that connection has already gone through, the right connection has already gone through the mail. So it has something that will help. Connection is very key. It's a sword you can't overlook. Connection is a sword you can't overlook. So when they say draw your sword, and the last time I was telling some people, now Ghana has graduated from who you know to who knows you. So if you want to draw a good sword in connection, you must draw the sword of the man that knows you, not whom you know. We have graduated and we are moving forward. That's the sword of connection. If it goes haywire, who can you call? Apart from calling God, who can you call? That is why God told Jacob, you have wrestled with God and man. That is why it was said about Jesus that he has gained favor from God and man. There is always a man factor, like we were taught here. There must be somebody. I wanted to quote it. Evangelist, if you remember. We were dealing with this thing. There must be a man.